Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. I'm going to continue speaking to Ian Hodgkinson because he's been telling us about some of the lows, extreme lows that he's been through in his business. But also later on, we're going to be watching a video from James Lafferty, who's a very successful CEO, on his 5 tips to success. And I'd like to get Ian's take on that as well. But let's carry on with what you were saying, Ian, because you just before the break, you were saying how you lost your business partner who'd been working with for years, who was more like if we were saying a family member to you.
Absolutely.
So obviously that was a huge blow to you and the company.
Yeah.
So how did you get over that? How did you carry on after that?
I know his character. He would want me to go forward, and it's just a case of remaining positive and taking all that experience that you've had and belief, and just get working gently through it. Day by day at times it was, not too much, take it steady, and so you could deal with it in your own way, just gentle steps, and time as I say is a great healer, and because we'll never forget these guys, and what they did for me.
They were part of the success of the growth of the business, weren't they?
Oh, absolutely. And and the very fact that they were there in the first place, I'm going to go forward and make sure it is a success in their memory. So
do tell us about the success of the business, because it's going really well, isn't it?
Oh yes, it is. I mean. It's about a year to 18 months ago that we noticed that things were starting to pick up, and very, very carefully I put a plan in place. You've got to get your plan in place. Don't just go meandering away. I got the plan in place, and I could see that things were moving forward. I must admit, if the recession had lasted another 6 months, I don't know where I'd have been.
Yeah.
We were almost on our knees, but I remain positive. Sooner or later, this.
How do you remain positive when things are looking so bleak?
Just belief.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely belief, because I think that we were wanted out there. What I could do and what we could build out there for people was
because
different.
you give a really good service as well. People can trust you and everything, which I think is such a lovely quality to have, really.
And it's part of my life anyway. What else would I do? I wanted to do this.
Never give up.
No, never give up. So my thoughts were, we need to be last man standing. Last man standing. And because where we came from, the landscape of the industry in 2007, 2008, before the crisis, half the people had gone, half the firms had gone, people had moved on. And so it got to a point where we were the last man standing. And so when those phone calls came through for builders and bricklayers, we were picking them up. Yeah. And it went from there. And it's from where we were 18 months ago, all our troubles are behind us. Absolutely, and I'm loving every minute of it. It's great. It is
brilliant. Okay, now let's watch this video as well, because I'd like to get your take on it. 5 tips to success. This is according to Jim Lafferty, and obviously you're probably going to have your own as well, because you've mentioned a couple already. So let's take a look at this first.
5 qualities you need to succeed. Talking today to James Michael Lafferty.
What would you say to somebody like a young person or anybody maybe who's having to change a career and they really wanted to have a successful career and climb the ladder? What would you say to them that maybe the 5 most qualities that they really need to have if they were serious about becoming very successful in what they wanted to do?
The first one would be courage. They need to take risks in their career, especially young people. They need to gamble a bit, and they need to go for it. When you have children and you have a spouse and you have house payments, you lose your ability to be flexible. When you're young like Morgan, and you just have a house, you're just renting an apartment, and you don't have a car, you don't have a husband, you have kids, you're flexible. Take the risks and swing for things. The second thing that you need is coachability. You have to be willing to absorb information and get better. Now, it's funny, the SEALs call this the warrior mindset, which is, are you prepared to get better, or do you think you're already good enough? And it's amazing the number of people who say, look, I'm good enough. I'm not open to any more changes or input in my life. That's a dangerous place to be. You need to be coachable. The third is EQ, or social intelligence. Can you work with other people? Everything's about teamwork. And the selfish people, the people that only think about themselves, who step on other people, who don't basically have an understanding of how humans think and what motivates people, are always going to struggle. In any company I've been in, the people that struggled to get along with others never were successful, no matter how big that brain was, no matter how many hours they worked, they weren't gonna make it. The fourth would be leadership. You won't find a company in the world today that has enough leaders. There's a dearth of leadership in every corporation in the world today. Now, everyone says they're a leader, but I'm talking real leadership. Doing the right thing, winning over trust. I mean, General Eisenhower said, the essence of leadership is integrity. And, people that are political, that are manipulative, that think they're leaders, they're not. And all of their people know it. This is about people that really take a stand for something. Why does everyone follow Nelson Mandela? Because he did the right thing, even though it was very difficult. That's the essence, that's the essence of leadership. And the final thing would be perseverance, which you're going to have ups and downs. I've had great times in my career. I've had bad times. I've had successful launches, and I've had failures. You got to stick with it. The difference between success and failure is nuances. So it's a very fine line. So it's a one or two things sometimes that makes the difference between it. So, and success all the time is a horrible teacher. You need to fail sometimes. I mean, I always go back and tell people, the best system to learn skiing is from the French. And the French will tell you, if you didn't fall down today, you didn't do it right. You should fall. Because falling means you tried new maneuvers and new degrees of slope and new hills that have made you a better skier. Not, I'm always going to do the easy runs where I don't fall down and I'm comfortable. You make progress when you're uncomfortable. Comfort is an enemy to anybody, because comfort makes us complacent. Comfort makes us just sitting, this is so nice. You got to push yourself. And so that's what's important, is that continual learning and continual improvement and being pushed to do things that you haven't done before.
So you've been having quite a lot of changes in your career, as you're saying, grabbing opportunities, and things have gone in different directions. Would you say that that's still happening now in your career?
Absolutely. I've worked for now different companies in different countries. I just came from living in Nigeria. Why? Because it's the most dynamic African country, and I wanted to go there, even though it for many people is a difficult place. I wanted to try it. I wanted to live there. I met wonderful people. I met a wonderful culture, and I'm glad I did that. Yeah, I mean, the day you stop taking risks is the day you might as well just say, I'm gonna sit back and wait to die. And I'm not doing that. So, every time I've ever interviewed 80-year-old people, they say the same thing. I only regret the risks I didn't take. They will always tell you that. And so I've always listened to that. I've taken every job that I've been asked to take, and I've gone to all the geographies that they asked me to move to. And I looked at everything positively, like this is an opportunity to learn.
James's 5 qualities you need to succeed. First, courage. Second, coachability. Third, social intelligence. Fourth, leadership. And fifth, perseverance.
Powerful stuff there, Ian, right?
Absolutely.
What did you think? I saw you nodding away during the interview.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with all of those, particularly the last one, perseverance, right? Because for me, that is the most important one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in all successful people, you have your ups and you have your downs, and it's learning from the ups and the downs, and it's taking that knowledge forward and those experiences forward. And I've got to say, if you talk to any of my friends around Derby, they'll know my saying, and it's not And it's to do with a boxer, and I think Rocky Balboa said it, to be fair, and it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit. Keep taking those punches, you get knocked down, and then getting back up. Yeah, getting back off that canvas and moving forward. That's what it's all about. And the only time that you actually fail is when you give up.
But we don't give up on this program.
No, we don't.
And we don't know.
No,
That's what this program's all about, is
Yeah.
perseverance and, you know, striving to be happy with whatever you're doing.
Oh,
and just
absolutely.
before you go, have been nominated for something, haven't you?
Yes.
Do tell us about that just before we go.
I've been nominated for Derbyshire Entrepreneur of the Year.
That's wonderful. And your
Yeah.
son as well, hasn't he? Been nominated?
Yes. My son Robert, who works for me as a quantity surveyor, has been nominated for Junior Entrepreneur of the Year.
Great, that's wonderful stuff.
We're all
So
thrilled to bits.
brilliant.
Yeah. It's just
you
great to be
deserve it,
nominated.
because you've been through a lot and you've come out on top.
Thank you.
Real
Yeah.
inspiration to other people. That's
Thank you.
great. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for speaking to me. I did tell Ian we have to get him back on because there's so much more he wanted to talk about, and I wanted to hear from him as well. So we didn't get time. We ran out of time. So
No problem.
we'll have to do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll
all
talk
right.
all
Thank you
night.
so much. Thank you. All right, do stay tuned, because after the break we'll be talking to singer Rochelle Scott, and she'll be performing for us too. So don't go away.